Welcome to the Daily English Learning Podcast.
Hello to all our dedicated English learners around the globe. Welcome back to another inspiring episode of the Daily English Learning Podcast. I am your host, Olivia, and I am thrilled to continue our comprehensive phrasal verb series with my wonderful co-host, Martin.
Hello, everyone. It is fantastic to be here with you again. We have successfully covered get, go, take, look, come, put, and turn phrasal verbs in our previous episodes, and today we are exploring make phrasal verbs, which are absolutely essential for expressing creation, understanding, compensation, success, and relationships in English.
Make is particularly versatile because it fundamentally means to create or cause something to happen. When combined with particles like up, out, for, of, off, and into, it creates expressions that native speakers use constantly for everything from understanding difficult text to compensating for mistakes and creating stories. Research shows that make phrasal verbs appear frequently in both spoken and written English.
In this episode, we will organize make phrasal verbs into clear categories such as understanding and perception, creation and invention, compensation and reconciliation, transformation, progress and success, and idiomatic expressions. We will provide detailed explanations and authentic examples so you can use these naturally and confidently. So, let's make the most of this lesson and begin.
Let's start with one of the most challenging make phrasal verbs, make out, which has multiple meanings. The first meaning is to see, hear, or understand something with difficulty. I could not make out what he was saying because of the noise means the speaker struggled to understand the words.
Make out for understanding is very common when something is unclear or difficult to perceive. Can you make out the writing on this old document? It is very faded. Asks if you can decipher unclear text, or with vision, I can barely make out the house in the distance through the fog.
Make out also means to claim or suggest something, often something untrue. He made out that he was an expert, but he actually knew very little suggests false representation. Or in disputes, she made me out to be the villain in the story means she portrayed me negatively.
In informal British English, make out can mean to kiss and embrace romantically. The teenagers were making out in the park describes romantic physical contact. This usage is quite casual and more common in American English.
Another understanding verb is make of, which means to understand or have an opinion about something. What do you make of the new manager? Asks for your opinion or assessment, or when puzzled, I do not know what to make of his strange behavior.
Make of is often used when something is confusing or ambiguous, and you want someone's interpretation. What do you make of these financial results? Or I cannot make anything of this complicated report. It expresses difficulty in forming an opinion.
The most common make phrasal verb for creation is make up, which has several important meanings. First, it means to invent or create something that is not true, like a story or excuse. Children often make up imaginary friends describes creative invention.
Make up for lying or inventing is very common. He made up an excuse for being late means he created a false reason. Or with stories, I did not read the book, so I just made up the answers in the exam. It implies fabrication or dishonesty.
Make up also means to form or constitute something. Women make up 60% of our workforce means women constitute that proportion. Or with elements, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen describes composition.
Additionally, make up means to apply cosmetics. She spends an hour making up her face every morning describes applying makeup. Or for theater, the actors were made up to look like old people means they wore special makeup.
Make-up has another crucial meaning to reconcile after an argument. They had a terrible fight, but they made up the next day means they resolved their conflict and restored friendship. It is very common in relationships.
When people make up, they forgive each other and return to normal relations. I am sorry we argued. Let's make up as a peace offering. Or between friends, my sister and I always make up quickly after disagreements.
A related phrasal verb is make up for, which means to compensate for something bad or provide something that was missing. He bought her flowers to make up for forgetting her birthday describes attempted compensation.
Make up for is essential for expressing compensation. I worked extra hours to make up for the time I missed last week, or her enthusiasm makes up for her lack of experience. It implies balancing or offsetting something negative.
You can also make up for lost time, which means to do something quickly because you started late or missed opportunities. After recovering from illness, she worked hard to make up for lost time. Describes catching up.
When you move toward a destination or make progress, you make for somewhere. After the meeting finished, everyone made for the exit describes moving toward a location. It suggests purposeful movement.
Make for is quite formal and literary. The ship made for the nearest port when the storm began or when the bell rang. The children made for the playground. It is less common in everyday conversation than head for or go to.
Make for also means to contribute to or cause a particular result. Good communication makes for a happy marriage means it contributes to marital happiness. Or negatively, poor planning makes for disaster.
This second meaning of make for is useful for expressing causation. Sunny weather makes for a perfect picnic, or his aggressive attitude makes for an unpleasant working environment. It emphasizes what creates particular conditions.
When you succeed or manage to achieve something despite difficulties, you make it. We thought we would miss the train, but we made it just in time. Expresses successful arrival. It is very common for expressing success.
Make it is wonderfully versatile. Do you think you can make it to the party tonight? Asks if attendance is possible. Or with survival, the doctors did not think he would survive, but he made it. It implies overcoming obstacles.
Make it can also mean to become successful, especially in a career. She finally made it as an actress after years of auditions describes achieving career success. Or more generally, he made it to the top of his profession.
When someone cannot attend or succeed, they cannot make it. I am sorry I cannot make it to your wedding because I will be abroad expresses inability to attend. It is a polite way to decline.
When you leave quickly, especially to escape, you make off. The thieves made off with all the jewelry before the police arrived describes rapid departure with stolen goods. It implies escaping, often with something valuable.
Make off suggests hurried or secretive departure. The cat made off with my sandwich when I was not looking is a humorous example. Or, more seriously, the burglars made off in a black van.
A related expression is make off with something, which emphasizes taking something while leaving. Someone made off with my umbrella from the restaurant means it was taken. It is slightly more formal than run off with.
There is also make a run for it, which is an idiomatic expression meaning to run away quickly to escape. When the rain stopped briefly, we made a run for it to the car describes seizing an opportunity to escape discomfort.
When you transform one thing into another, you make into. The old factory was made into luxury apartments describes conversion or transformation. It emphasizes changing form or purpose.
Make into is useful for describing transformations. She made the leftover chicken into a delicious soup, or the book was made into a successful film. It shows creative repurposing.
You can also make something of yourself, which means to become successful and respected. His parents always encouraged him to study hard, and make something of himself expresses aspirations for success.
Make something of yourself implies achieving your potential. He dropped out of school but still managed to make something of himself describes success, despite obstacles. It is often used by parents encouraging children. We mentioned make of earlier for understanding, but it is worth emphasizing for opinions. What do you make of the Prime Minister's latest speech? Asks for your judgment or interpretation.
Make of is perfect when seeking someone's impression. What did you make of the new employee? Or I do not know what to make of these strange results. It invites subjective interpretation.
There is also make out a case for something, which means to argue or present reasons supporting something. The lawyer made out a strong case for her client's innocence describes persuasive argumentation.
Make out a case is quite formal and legal. It is difficult to make out a case for increasing taxes during a recession, means it is hard to justify. It emphasizes logical reasoning and evidence.
When you write or complete a check or document, you make out that document. Please make out the check to ABC Company Limited is an instruction for writing a check. It is quite formal.
Make out for documents is common in business. I need you to make out an invoice for this customer, or the prescription was made out in my name. It means to complete or fill in official documents.
You can also make out lists or reports. I have made out a list of everything we need for the party means I have written a comprehensive list. It suggests careful preparation.
We mentioned make out earlier for kissing, but let's discuss it more. In American English especially, make out means to kiss passionately. They were making out in the back of the cinema describes romantic kissing.
This usage is very informal and casual. Teenagers might say, "Did they make out at the party?" It is not appropriate in formal contexts. British English speakers might use snog instead.
There are also expressions like make eyes at someone, which means to look at someone romantically or flirtatiously. She was making eyes at him across the room. All evening describes flirting through eye contact.
Make eyes at is slightly old-fashioned, but still understood. Stop making eyes at that waiter. Might be a jealous partner's complaint. It implies obvious romantic interest through glances.
When you find or create time for something, you make time for it. No matter how busy I am, I always make time for exercise emphasizes prioritization despite busyness.
Make time for shows conscious choice to allocate time. You need to make time for your family is common advice. Or romantically, he never makes time for me anymore expresses feeling neglected.
There is also make good time, which means to travel quickly or faster than expected. We made good time on the journey and arrived an hour early describes efficient travel.
Make good time is useful for journeys. If we leave now and make good time, we should arrive before dark or despite the traffic, we made good time. It emphasizes speed and efficiency. When discussing finances, make money is obviously common, but there are phrasal variations. Make a fortune means to earn a very large amount of money. He made a fortune investing in property during the boom describes great financial success.
Make a fortune implies exceptional wealth. She made a fortune from her smartphone app, or they made a fortune and retired at 40. It is more dramatic than simply make money.
You can also make ends meet, which means to have just enough money to pay for necessities. After losing his job, they struggled to make ends meet describes financial difficulty.
Make ends meet is an important idiom for financial survival. With prices rising, it is getting harder to make ends meet, or she works 2 jobs to make ends meet. It implies barely sufficient income.
When you finally decide after consideration, you make up your mind. I cannot make up my mind which dress to buy expresses indecision. Or after deliberation, I have finally made up my mind to accept the job offer.
Make up your mind is essential for expressing decision-making. Make up your mind, we need to leave now, shows impatience with indecision, or she made up her mind quickly and never looked back.
There is also make a decision, which is more straightforward. We need to make a decision about the holiday destination soon, or he made the decision to quit his job. It is neutral and common.
Let's explore essential make idioms. Make a difference means to have a significant effect or impact. Your donation really makes a difference to children's lives, emphasizes positive impact.
Make a difference is wonderfully versatile. Does it make a difference if we leave at 8 or 9? Asks if timing matters. Or inspirationally, one person can make a difference in the world.
Make sense means to be logical or understandable. Your explanation makes sense now expresses understanding. Or questioning logic, it does not make sense to drive when the train is faster and cheaper.
Make believe means to pretend or imagine, especially in children's play. The children were making believe they were pirates describes imaginative play. Or as a noun, it is just make-believe, not reality.
Make do means to manage with something less than ideal because nothing better is available. We do not have proper tools, so we will have to make do with what we have describes accepting limitations.
Make do is very British and practical. There is no coffee left, so we will have to make do with tea or in wartime. People had to make do with very little. It implies resourcefulness.
Make a fool of yourself means to behave in a way that makes you look stupid. He made a fool of himself by singing badly at the karaoke describes embarrassing behavior.
Make yourself at home is a hospitable phrase inviting someone to relax and be comfortable. Please come in and make yourself at home is a welcoming greeting. It encourages guests to feel comfortable.
Make the most of something means to get maximum benefit or enjoyment from an opportunity. We only have 1 day in Paris, so let's make the most of it. Encourages maximizing opportunities.
And make or break describes something that will cause complete success or complete failure. This exam will make or break my chances of getting into university emphasizes critical importance.
What an impressive collection of make phrasal verbs. Let's systematically review everything we covered today.
Make out means see, hear with difficulty. Claim falsely, kiss romantically, or write documents. Make of means understand, or have an opinion about something. Make up means invent a story, constitute or form, apply cosmetics, or reconcile. Make up for means compensate for something.
Make for means move toward or contribute to a result. Make it means succeed, arrive in time, or become successful. Make off means leave quickly, especially to escape. Make into means transform one thing into another.
Make time for means allocate time despite being busy. Make good time means travel efficiently. Make ends meet means have just enough money for necessities. Make up your mind means decide after consideration.
Make a difference means have significant impact. Make sense means be logical or understandable. Make believe means pretend or imagine. Make do means manage with less than ideal resources. Make the most of means maximize benefit from opportunities.
What an incredible journey through make phrasal verbs. I hope this lesson has made a real difference in your understanding of English.
Remember, do not make excuses for not practicing. Make time for English every day, and you will make excellent progress.
In our next episode, we will explore give phrasal verbs, which are essential for discussing surrender, distribution, and revelation. Until then, make the most of every opportunity to practice.
Make up your mind to succeed and make yourself proud. Thank you for listening.
Make it a great day, everyone. Goodbye.
Keep making progress. See you next time.